I kind of liked Madrasi. I know it has all these issues, has its flaws, but there's a lot of things to admire about, which I'm going to talk about in this video. And coincidentally, I saw another Hollywood film and I found a lot of parallels between them, which I want to discuss. So let's go. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince, and a different vibe, different way of making a video. I was calling it post-release analysis, but most films I review post-release, so it doesn't make any sense. But you get my point. The film is out on OTT. There'll be spoilers here. If you haven't seen, please go watch it. And it's been some time since it's out on OTT, so I was late to it. And I saw one more Hollywood film called One Battle After the Other, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, and I quite enjoyed it. It was very tense, one of the most racy and tension-filled screenplay. It is so well done, so definitely don't miss the theatrical experience of it. I know it's not doing that great around the globe, but it's a good film. So watching that film and Madrasi back to back kind of gave me different parallels. There's something familiar and similar between them, but of course there's a lot of differences. And there are things which I think in Indian mass hero films we need to take from a film like that. We need to upgrade our hero mass films, which we have been making for such a long time. And if you don't know, I'm a big fan of mass films. I enjoy most kind of cinema except horror maybe. And a mass hero film is a different genre altogether. A mass film is a film made for the masses, all kind of audiences. You can count Kantara in it, Triple R, Bahubali. All these films are made for the masses at the huge scale, but all of them are focused and led by a story. But a hero mass film is led by the hero, like a Pushpa. You can say KGF also, but it's kind of still a mix of mass and hero mass. But I'm sure you get the idea. And most hero mass films basically the same template over and over again. They may change the positioning, they may play with the screenplay, all of these things happen. But mostly all of them have the same formula. So whenever a film comes which does something different, it makes me excited. So Madrasi has some really interesting elements that surprised me. And I wish the film focused on those elements and did add all the fluff around, which is mostly the issues with these kind of films. Even when they are films, which try to do something different, they go back to the formula because they don't trust they can pull it off. And that has happened many times. Like there's literally a story element in Madrasi which we saw in a movie like Game Changer, and there it was not done well, whereas here it's really done well. Now in Madrasi, the standout thing was the hero's arc, his characteristics. Like he's a crazy guy, he's a mental patient, he's abnormal because when everyone stands around and lets injustice happen in front of them, he goes and protects the people as if they are his own family members. That's basically a trait of a savior, right? He's the hero who has to save the day. But the way this film finds a reasoning for that to happen is really cool. Most films, they don't need to give a reasoning. Oh, he's just a good guy, he's the hero, that's why he's saving people. But to come up with the logic behind it, it's actually fun. They kind of give a backstory to it. And they don't just stop there, there's more to it. They're creating a conflict around it. That when everything is happy in his life, he's getting normal, so he stops being a hero. So in a way, it is like the old school films, which is trying to give you a message in a very simple manner. Now this conflict is taking place with the female lead of the film, Rukmani Vasant, and I was happy to see that a female character is getting so much importance in the narrative. The story is basically revolving around both of them. And yes, the drama is not very realistic. It's more about the bigger ideas they're trying to discuss through these characters. Her addition in the story is not forced. It makes so much sense. They have fallen in love because she really likes that he goes out and saves people. He thinks everyone is family to him, and she likes this fact about him. But the moment they're together, they're happy. He's not like that anymore. So she's willing to sacrifice her love so that he goes out and help people. And that is one of the most noblest sacrifice you can make. So if you look at it, the plot is not being controlled by the hero, but by her. Her decisions, her character is actually driving the plot ahead. And I think a lot of credit for that goes to the actor Sivakarthikeyan. He is a big star now, but he doesn't come with any baggage of stardom that he can pull off a role like this, where he's very raw. He's not the best guy ever. He is the hero, but he's playing a crazy guy. Apart from the action, there's nothing heroic about him. We start the film with him wanting to end his life because the girl left him. And the film plays that as if it's a stupid thing that he's doing until we find out what really happened. And this was a parallel I had with the Hollywood film, where Leo's character, spoilers for that film, is kind of a loser also. He's inadequate. He doesn't have any attribute of a hero. He's really struggling to make it to the finish line. And the heroic thing is that he's still trying. That's what makes him the hero, the protagonist of the film. And I think we need those kind of heroes in Indian cinema too, especially in these big mass films. It's not just about being flawed, but not being heroic. Maybe hero is not the best guy. He has problems. He is not perfect. We need to bring different attributes to our hero. And in that sense, I think Madrasi does a really good job. The film had this unexpected humor also in it, which sometimes was like little cringy, but sometimes, oh, this is actually fun. I like it, especially the interval sequence. And that brings me to the interval bang, like I was not expecting. Vidya Jamwal as the villain, and they just kind of bluff with us that they killed him, but that's not the case at all. But I actually enjoyed The Evil with You Jamwal. I wish they had utilized his action much better. The things he can really pull off, but it still felt like, he was doing it on wire, maybe for the safety reasons. But one more thing this film gets really right is the action design. In a mass hero film, right, the impact of the action should be equal to the emotion the hero is having. If it's just a mild thing that, someone did something just to beat someone, the impact can be little, the action can be less, just few punches, that's it. But the higher the emotion goes, the higher the impact of the action has to go. If the hero is totally angry, he has to save his loved one, it's the end of the world for him, he's totally in rage. So the action he is doing, the impact that needs to have should be the highest. It is something the Hindi film killed us so well. At the start, our hero is not fighting totally because he's just trying to save people. But in the second half, when things have gone wrong, there's no coming back. He doesn't care about anything. He just wants to kill each one of them. Then he doesn't stop. And you can see that in his actions. So similarly in Madrasi also, the higher the emotion goes, the impact of the action goes for Sivakarthikeyan. It has to be the one punch, one hit, and the other one should be annihilated. It's only the big villain, big bad that he should take time to defeat. Now the execution is a big problem with this film. And one thing I actually didn't like at all was the way they portrayed commandos. Like we have NIA, they have commandos, and they are just useless, like stormtroopers. They cannot aim at all. They are wearing all the gear, everything, but these Tom, Dick and Harry is coming out typical gangsters with one gun and they are just annihilating all of them. Like, come on, at least make some sense out of it. Either don't show them as commandos, show them as just police force who are not very trained. Or even if you want to show that the villains can take down commandos, make it at least believable. Don't turn it into a joke. And it's not about getting offended that how you can show commandos like that. It's a movie. Maybe they are not the real commandos, they are different. But you need to have a gravity in the film itself. If you're showing something like this, there needs to be conviction. The intensity of the action should be there. That what I'm watching as audience should matter. Something again the Hollywood film does so well. That film doesn't even have big action sequences. Yes, there are big set pieces which are very action oriented, but there's no hand-to-hand combat and all those stuff. Like the climax of that film is just cars driving on a road, and that is so intense. So we need to make our action more convincing in a film. It should have an intensity. It should have a graph. Now the film with its messaging is quite in your face. It's very preachy, and I think that comes from the filmmaking of A.R. Mrugdose. He does pull off some really cool movements, but the film is inconsistent and there's a lack of finesse. And that's why I was thinking, if the same story was directed by Lokesh Kanagaraj, he would have killed it. With this slick direction and a fresher approach, this film could have been something else altogether. That's what Lokesh brings, which I've actually broken down in this video where I rank all his films in a very different and unique way. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Do let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like these kind of videos, and I will see you next time.